Hey guys, what's going on? I'm doing an update of Timothy Sykes' newsletter, which is only $49 for a year, so a total bargain. If you want to buy it, there's a link in the description below. I highly recommend it. I bought it like a week or so ago, and so far every trade's been a winner. There's tons of education in there, and I've written a review. I'm starting to fill out that review with the results that are coming in, and so far things have been going really well with it. So, Timothy Sykes is a bit of a controversial figure in the world of trading. He actually got me into trading many, many years ago now. This is him right here. And so some people find him really annoying. He can be quite polarizing with his Lamborghinis and his fancifications and stuff. But at the end of the day, he actually does pretty well. Like he turned 13,000 from bar mitzvah money into $7 million over the last decade or so. So he's made a lot of money trading. He gives away a lot of his profits. I actually quite like the guy now. I found him very annoying when I first started out trading, but I actually like him. He gives a lot, and his trading's actually pretty good. He has a lot of really perspicacious, um, ideas for people that are new to trading, like making sure you're not staying in trade too long, making sure you are only trading the best setups. He's really good at building the foundation. The problem is you have to listen to a lot of his courses. So if we go to the Timothy Sykes portal right here, this is what you get access to if you buy the Timothy Sykes newsletter for $49. Again, you'll find the link in the description below and in my full review. This is the stuff you get access to. And so I've started looking at the XGPT alerts, which is interesting. Apparently, you're only getting 2 or 3 of those a month. Those are interesting so far. One came out and it hasn't triggered as far as I can see, but I'll revisit that later today. I'm more interested in some of the other things, in particular the Catalyst X alert. So the Catalyst X is a system where you get weekly alerts. He says get nearly weekly alerts on the stocks that Tim Sykes is actively trading on news. So every time news comes out, he's trading these low-cost stocks. Now, they're not always penny stocks. One was an $18 stock that I showed the other day. This one today is a bit lower, but it's still $3. And so I'm going to show you the results for today as well. And you can look through the previous videos. I'm going to try and put them into this review as well so that they're all in one place. So you guys can decide whether this is a service that you might be interested in buying. A couple of things before I show you the trade. One is these are stock trades, not options. They're low-cost trades, so they're typically between $1, sometimes even 50 cents per share, up to like $20 per share. So they're not like pink sheets or anything like that. They're decent trade. They're decent stocks. They're not terrible. But the key thing here is the news that drives them. These catalyst news events. Tim is an expert at spotting them. He has a lot of tools at his disposal for spotting these moves, and he's very good at trading the moves. He typically sells too early though, so usually you can hold a bit longer and get more gains, but he prefers to take that profit while he has it. It's just his style, and it's worked for him for years. He's made millions of dollars doing that. And so, one thing to note here is if you're a bit frustrated with options trading, where you have to worry about the Greeks, where you get an IV and theta decay and stuff, and the whole thing of having to buy options, this could be something you could try, right? If you've never tried really just pure stock trading, this is a good starting point because the trades are short, they're easy, they're often pre-market, which is good for some people right before work. They're not always pre-market, this one was. So for the early bird, or if you're on the East Coast, this could be trades that you can do. So far, there's been 3 this week. So I thought because it says right here, under number 5 here on the Timothy Sykes newsletter, the Catalyst X alerts, you'd only get nearly weekly alerts. Well, I've had 3, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and they've all been decent winners. So so far I'm pretty impressed. I'm quite happy I'm getting these number of trades. Maybe next week I don't get any, but so far 3 out of 3 have worked. To some extent, one of them doubled, which was pretty amazing. But this one today only had like a 10% move that Tim Sykes did. It did go on to move more, but Tim's the expert at trying to time these little snipes. So these trades are short, and so that's good. You don't want to be watching your computer all day. These typically are only taking 10 minutes. Now the cool thing is you'll see in this trade that I'm going to show you, they aren't trades that immediately take off within like 30 seconds. So a lot of people think that Tim Sykes is a pump and dumper, and it just like pumps up with all his alerts and then it dumps. Well, I'm going to show you that didn't happen today, and it hasn't happened in the previous trades either. So that's a really good thing for me because it often puts people off from these high volatility, often low float, low priced. I call them penny stocks, but they really aren't. Most of them are several dollars, and depending on your definition of what a penny stock is, but I don't think an $18 stock is a penny stock, and that was yesterday's. So this one's, like I said, $3. It was BZFD. One guy took the trade today. He said, enter today, BZFD, in and out before opening with a small profit happy. He just bought this service for 49 bucks via my link, which will be in the description below. And yeah, so before we get into the trade, this is all the other stuff you get when you buy the $49 subscription for a year. You get access to the newsletter, the minutes from Tim Bowen, who's also another excellent trader. So there's all this other stuff which I talk about in a little bit more detail in my full review right here. So definitely check these out. This is definitely an interesting, different way to trade. So if you are a bit fed up with options and you just want to do some quick sort of scalping, this is definitely something that you might like. So let's get into the trade a little bit. So if I click on the catalyst alerts here, this will tell me what the trades were today. So the top two are the top three are the actual trades for today. So let's just try and get that just right for you guys. So right here, today is May 22nd. You can see the date down here. This time is 8:01 a.m. So the price was 366. This is the size he took. His explanation is pretty short. I don't know what happens if we click on read more. It doesn't really give any more details. So let's just stick with what is on the screen here. Try and zoom in a little bit. So basically what happens is the news comes out, and the news can be anything from a big new investor in this case. So there's a pre-market spike on a big new investor coming in. So they announced some new big investor, and that caused the stock to spike. And sometimes these are sustained depending on the news, and sometimes they just plummet back down. In this case, it plummeted back down after reaching some new highs after Timothy Sykes exited. But overall, like, this is not enough really to really continue a rally. So with these pre-market spikers, or the spikers on news during the day, you're not looking for a sustained move. You're looking for a quick move. And for a lot of people, that suits them because they can just be done and dusted for the day. These aren't daily. They have been for the last 3 days, but the frequency I don't think it'll sustain at 3, a week or anything like that. So it's not going to be overwhelming, which I like to, because I just want to do like short, fast trades that don't take up a lot of my time. Time is really valuable, and I don't think sitting at a 10 monitor system scalping all day every day is the most productive way to trade. Anyway, he bought 3,550 shares of BZFD. This is pre-market, partial fill in his pre-market spiker at 366. Big new investor, Vivek Ramaswamy, on a 7.7% stake into this company BZFD. The goal is to make 5, 10, 50%, as the media will be all over this, so should have some legs given Vivek's profile. I don't know who this guy is, but he sounds like somebody who's kind of a big deal, and obviously that caused the stock to spike. And so this is the exit alert. You get this via email, SMS, and also the dashboard here. And so he sold pretty quickly from 366 to 402, and he's like, perfect pre-market spiker. I'm locking in my singles. So nice. You must get up early in the morning right now. Every day there's solid pre-market spikers. So I'm guessing that's why we're getting plenty at the moment, is every day so far there's been some nice pre-market stuff, but not always. Sometimes they're during the day, but pre-market could be a nice niche for somebody who is looking for, like, maybe they have a 9-to-5 job. Maybe you're the one that has a 9-to-5 job, and you can do these pre-market spikers. So I miss them because I'm always asleep. I'm going to try and start getting up to catch them because they're pretty nice. So let's get into the trade a little bit. This is the daily chart. You can see BZFD over the last couple of years has not really done very much. It's been hovering around the $1 to $3 mark. But this is today on the right here. This huge candle, this big massive candle coming in on this news. If we zoom in a little bit to the 1 minute chart, which is what you really need to do with these trades, if I go to the time that Timothy Sykes alerted this, I'm going to keep zooming in here. Okay, so 7:01 my time, because I'm in Central Time, would be 8:01 his time. This is when the alert came out, and you can see we actually, on the next candle, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you can actually get similar, if not even maybe a little bit better prices than Tim. This didn't just take off. Sure, the next candle did have a little bit of extra buying, probably from his subscribers, but it didn't take off massively. It took a while. It took like 2, 4, 6, 7 or 8 minutes before we really started to print these solid big candles, and Tim Sykes sold up here somewhere, so you can get this move. So you can see it was only a 10-minute trade, but it was really quite nice. Now, the reason that Tim Sykes likes to take these smaller profits and cut his losses fast is because you did see it sell off quite significantly throughout the rest of the morning, although we're not really that much lower than his sell point, 396, here. But look what happened. It went all the way up to 450. But that's not guaranteed, and it immediately sold off again. So it's struggling to keep its gains at this point. So I think Tim Sykes did the right thing. Even though he could have squeezed a bit more profit out of it, did the right thing, because look what happened just all the way down here. Just sold off as the morning went on. And so, yeah, let's go to the 5-minute chart and see how it's doing now instead of scrolling on the 1 minute. So you can see as the market opened, this thing died. Remember, we're looking at this move at 701. So we were looking at this move here, basically, is what Tim captured. And sure, could have got up to 450 at market open. But then look at this sell-off. You'd have been way down back to 3. And that was roughly... You'd have been at a loss at this point because he got in at 366. So overall, I'm really impressed with this Tim Sykes newsletter. And again, the Tim Sykes newsletter includes a lot of stuff, including the new AI alerts, which are 2 or 3 alerts a month, so almost 1 a week. And these are interesting. I could actually revisit that in a minute since this video's not been that long. I'll check out the first XGPT alert that I've seen come out and see if it's triggered yet. But there's a lot of good stuff here, including a long course on basically how to be a good trader. So 11.5-hour course. Now, that's going to be tough going, but this is a trader checklist. This is everything that Tim has learned over 20 years of trading that help him become a profitable trader and maintain being a profitable trader. That's the hard part, right? Anybody can make some money, but in order to keep going and keep making that money over a decade or 2 decades, you've got to get these basic fundamentals and this mentality, this mindset that Tim Sykes has. And so I understand that Tim Sykes, like a lot of people will be watching this going, Russell, really? You're subscribed to Tim Sykes? He's a scammer, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe he's a scammer. I really don't. I do believe this guy trades real, and he really has made real money doing this. And he has a lot to offer new traders. And it's probably, if you're looking for stocks that can move, same sort of percentage amount that options can in short periods of time, but without the Greeks and the worry about having to buy contracts and everything, just trading the underlying stock, this could be something that really is of interest to you. So I'm going to keep doing reviews on this. I'm going to look at the monthly newsletter that comes out. This is all included in this $49, so this is a really good deal in my opinion. And to get these courses, some of these courses used to sell for $1,000 a time, and you're getting them included in a $49 package. On top of that, you're getting all these different alerts that seem to be working out really well. Like yesterday, I did show the other trades here. So I did show this one. So MGRX, that was yesterday's trade. Just trying to scroll down here. So he did 0.55 to 0.62, which isn't a huge gain, but it was also a pretty easy trade as well. And I think that was pre-market too. So yeah, pre-market watch list he does as well. And so they do watch lists and things in here too, but unfortunately I don't always emphasize some of this stuff because people just seem to want these alerts. But if you're interested in learning and looking at watch lists and getting ideas and stuff, there's plenty of that included in Timothy Sykes' newsletter as well. So again, check out my review. If you want to purchase this, the link will be in the description below and inside this article right here. And so I'm trying to put these videos in, to make sure that you guys see what these trades are all about as well. So as time goes on, I'll keep adding to this article, and hopefully you guys will get results from it the same way the guy this morning that messaged me saying he made a nice little small win on it also does. So yeah, so I think we'll have a quick look at the XGPT alert. I'm curious to see if it actually has gone anywhere. So the first one came out. It was interesting because they're still testing it up until this launched, and this just launched. And so this was the first artificial intelligence alert, and it said basically OSG is an overnight trade, score of 80%. I'm still confused about what that actually means, whether it was just an overnight trade or if we're just waiting for it to trigger. Because when I went to look at OSG, we go to OSG here, it's never actually triggered as far as I can tell the buy alert. So we had this big move up. Try and get this zoomed in for you right here. So we had this big move up, and this is when the alert came out. But they're looking for a break above this green line before entering the trade. So I don't know if this trade is done, that it's just never triggered. because it's ambiguous at the moment about whether this was only supposed to be an overnight trade or not. So he says it was a promising overnight trading opportunity. And so overnight it never triggered the buy at 885, which is up here. So I think this might be a dud. It never triggered, so it's not a loss. But I don't think this first XGPT artificial intelligence alert, which seems to look at the fundamentals, technicals, and the news, which, if you know Tim Sykes and you've been listening to this video, you know that news is a huge part of Timothy Sykes trading. So if you like that style, this could be for you. Anyway, hopefully it's helpful. I'm going to continue to update these trades and go into a little bit more detail about what you get with this really low-cost $49 a year product. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it too. Alright guys, talk to you soon.